The time is, well, according to the game, it's the end of World War II. The Nazis are trying to bring stolen artwork into Germany, and you're trying to steal that train and bring it to Revere. Sounds like a typical World War II action film, but in fact it's a game for the Commodore 64 by the name of The Train: Escape to Normandy.
RetroKork.
The Train: Escape to Normandy is a World War II rail game in which you are shooting at Nazi planes, Nazi soldiers, and Nazi boats if necessary. In this game you portray Le Feu, a member of the French Resistance. You're collaborating with the rest of the Resistance as well as your direct colleague or comrade, Le Duc. Your first objective is to give Le Duc cover so he can make sure you get to take this train. Because of course the station's obviously crawling with enemy soldiers. And because here you actually get to choose your difficulty level as when Le Duc is at the switch. Left is easy, right is hard in this game. But if you don't know where you're going, the game is twice as difficult, since some of the train tracks are out of order, destroyed, impassable. Plus, of course, you'll run into fighters and other issues multiple times, especially if you're running into a dead end. So, without any additional delaying, without further ado, let me explain the probably least intuitive segment, unless you love riding steam locomotives, the driving part. Or better yet, let me take this image of the kind people over at the C64 wiki, c64-wiki.com, have provided. So, first of all, you use the controls always with the fire button pressed. You go forward when the direction lever is pushed forward. You go backwards when it's pulled back. And you should never try to do this change of directions while you're moving, or you'll end up ripping your gearbox, breaking the gears. You speed up by pulling the throttle towards you, and slow down by pushing it away, by pushing it up. You add coal into the open furnace. I think you have an idea on how to open the furnace now, and to close it by moving your joystick to the right. But be careful, you don't want the boiler to explode, so you have to deal with the release of steam. Brakes work kind of like a handbrake. They get applied by pulling down. Now, sometimes you will encounter switches out in the open. The Duc will notify you of them. The three lights in a column indicate what direction the switch is set to, and you set it by pulling the whistle. Once for left, relative of course, twice to go straight ahead, and 3 times sets the switch to let you go to the right. Now, while you're on the way, you can switch views. 1 and 2 are showing you the gunner's nest, which you have to switch to should enemy fighters show up. 3 is the driver's cabin, and 4 shows you the map, so you get a good idea where you're going actually. Now, when you reach another train station, you usually have to repeat the first stage, just at a different location, with a different name of the station. After you've taken the station, your train will be refilled and restocked with coal and water, and you can send a message out to the troops, to the other members of the Resistance, to either take the next station, take a bridge, picks up the train at the next station, or you can decide that you're not going to send a message. Both take the next station and take the bridge are kind of timed, so you have to be at the right place at the right time at the time given, or you'll run into enemy opposition. Now, your goal is to get to a town called River, which according to the game is kind of on the northwest coast of France, though not at the channel. Besides the opening screen, there is no music, only sound effects. Admittedly, the train driving segments can be quite long, so if you're not into that, if you're really not into that, this game will give you a hard time having fun. Otherwise, if you're not opposed to longer stretches of nothing going on, there's nothing else I could say about this game, but give it a try at least. Two weeks from now will be quite cyberpunky, as I'm going to talk about Deckers, Netrunners, and the Commodore 64 version of the game Neuromancer.